So starting 2024, the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Prime Minister with its Look South policy. Will it work? Well, these are the questions that we're posing this evening. Will Modi factor work in the south of India? And why is Tamil Nadu, at least till now, cold to the Bharatiya Janata Party? Can the BJP break ground in South India? And how real is the North-South divide? To give you an example, viewers, 130 seats, the 5 big states of the South put together. In 2019, the BJP won 29, just 29 of these 130 seats. With that, let's cut across to our guests. Joining me, Shekhar Iyer, senior journalist, Sumant C. Raman, political analyst, Kovai Satyan, AIDMK spokesperson, Shehzad Poonawalla, BJP spokesperson, Mohan Kumar Mangalam, Congress spokesperson. Shehzad, to begin with you, the south of the Indias have usually been a tough battle for the Bharatiya Janata Party, but you've begun the new year clearly with the policy of Look South.
Preeti, first of all, let me tell you that the BJP has never been alien to the South. We have had a government in Karnataka. We have a handsome vote share in Karnataka. We have a government in Puducherry. We have a substantial vote share in Kerala, much more than the IUML. By the way, the 29 seats that you were talking about, we are actually the biggest party in the South. Congress has 28 seats, if I'm not mistaken, and DMK has 24. And DMK has no presence in Andhra. DMK has no presence in Telangana. DMK has no presence in Kerala. And by the way, if you only saw whether on social media today, Vanakkam Modi with 1 million posts, or whether you saw the actual crowds chanting Modi, Modi, even when Stalin was trying to speak, it shows that we have a connect that goes beyond political and electoral calculations with the South. It's a connect of Virasat, Vikas and Vishwas. And let me just articulate all three of them very quickly. Whether it's bringing the Sengol to the new parliament building, whether it's quoting Tamil saints and Tamil poets at the highest platforms, whether it is giving salutations to Thiruvalluvar, whether it is giving a chair for Tamil studies at the Subramaniam Bharati chair in BHU, whether it is respecting Tamil culture, or whether it is even giving South India a big part and place in the Ram Mandir construction. The stones come from Karnataka, the artisans come from Tamil Nadu, the doors come from Hyderabad, the idol is going to come from a Mysuru-based artisan. So I think this kind of cultural connect is also seen in Kashi Tamil Sangamam. And apart from that, let me talk about Vikas. The amount of money that UPA gave to Tamil Nadu in 2004 to 14, we have given 2.5 times more money. It's not the money we have given, it is actually the money that belongs to people of India. But 2.5 times more has been given as the allocation. 40 ministers have visited 400 times. Today you have a spending of almost 6,000 crores on railways. It was a paltry 860 crores during the UPA tenure. Today we are building national highways worth 2,300 kilometers worth 58,000 crore rupees. Today 75,000 crore rupees is being spent on the Chennai metro, whether it's Chennai Bangalore Expressway, on which 50,000 crore rupees is being spent. This is the kind of commitment we have towards the people of the South. I've just given you the example of Tamil Nadu. So therefore our connect with the South goes to Virasat, Vikas and the Vishwas. 58 lakh people, by the way, just in Tamil Nadu have got Kisan Samman Nidhi. About 80 lakh toilets have been constructed. Over 60 lakh people have got tap water connections. Crores get rations. Karnataka used to get 11,000 crores per year during the UPA tenure. Today it gets 30,000 crores. Karnataka used to get 6,000 crores for highways. Today it gets 5,000 crores per year. So I think the connection is very deep. And just like people didn't expect we would get 18 seats in Bengal, people didn't expect we would get 71 seats in Uttar Pradesh. I think the South, where we have 30 seats today, 29, 30 seats today, will expand and will almost double in the 2024 election.
But you've given a slew of measures or the Vikas push, Shehzad, but yet you haven't been able to cut it where the south of India is concerned. And why I say that, because you say you have the maximum number of seats, which is 29, and the Congress just has 28. But vis-a-vis, if you look at a seat share, you stand at just about 9.6%, 29 of the 303, the mammoth 303, Shehzad, where the BJP is concerned, and the Congress at 53.8% of the vote share with 28 of just the 52 seats it has. So, when you compare that, then clearly you see that there is a huge divide where it comes down to it. But, I want to cut across to the Congress spokesperson and Mr. Kumara Mangalam. There's a point in what Shehzad said and why I'll, reiterate. Because the figures that I quoted to Shehzad, there is also a figure which clearly seems to suggest on vote share where the BJP is only gaining election after election where the vote share is concerned, where the Congress, which the South used to be your citadel or the bastion, and you're only losing vote share.
I would have to be particular about which state you're talking about and which election you're talking about, Preeti. I don't think those numbers add up. We're in government in Karnataka now. We have another government now in Telangana.
I'm talking about Lok Sabha elections, Mr. Mangalam.
even in Lok Sabha, if you look at vote shares, those numbers will differ based on the fact of how many seats we're contesting. We were in alliance in Tamil Nadu where we swept, but we contested only about 9 seats in Tamil Nadu. The rest were contested by DMK. Now, let me get to a number of things that Shehzad talked about. He spewed a lot of numbers out there, and I think some are from Mr. Modi's own claims. Let me first say that Mr. Modi is the master of foundation laying. It's maybe about a year ago in Jan 27, 2019, when he came and he laid the foundation stone for Madurai AIMS. I believe the Minister of State for Health has just said that they will start constructing the AIMS Madurai now in 3 months. In September 2022, Mr. JP Nadda came and claimed that 95% of that AIMS had gotten built. But when the MPs of that area went and started to look for the building, they didn't find it anywhere. So it's very easy to make pronouncements and lay foundation stones and disappear. Second, to talk in absolute terms in an economy that's growing, no matter what percentage it's growing at, and compare a number now from 10 to 1 that's 10 years ago is very disingenuous. Frankly, everybody knows that the 14th, when we moved from the 13th Finance Commission to the 14th Finance Commission, the amount that was devolved to the states rose from 32% to 42%. That was done during UPA's regime. What they did in the 15th Finance Commission was only give 15% to the own tax revenue and to lower fertility rates as sort of a performance guarantee when they're talking about devolution. You take the last 6 finance commissions, the amount of money that is being allocated to the southern states is continuously falling. And if Mr. Modi was truly worried about equity and being fair to the southern states, then what he should have pronounced in his speeches is how the 16th Finance Commission that he's just constituted under the chairmanship of Mr. Arvind Panagriya would be different, and how it would be more equitable and fair to the southern states. Lastly, one of the biggest foundation stones he's laid is the GAIL pipeline. And frankly, I think it's very shameless for him to even claim any credit for it, because this is a project that went into abeyance for 5 years. And I'll say in a very bipartisan manner, it's only because of the late Jayalalitha and Mr. Stalin together made sure that that scheme got implemented finally along the highways versus going through farmlands, which is why it got stuck. In fact, Mrs. Jayalalitha, when she was chief minister and Mr. Modi first became prime minister, took a memorandum to him to ask for an amendment to the law, which he completely ignored. And today he comes and lays a foundation stone as if he's given the scheme.
All right, okay. Mr. Mangalam, you wanted to know figures, so let me just give you some figures. 1989, and let's just go seat-wise of the 130 seats out of the 5 big states in the south. The BJP in 89 had 0, the Congress had 108 of the 130. You come down right now to 2019, the BJP stands at 29, the Congress 28. And the share has only been increasing for the BJP, and for you it's only coming down.
Of the 29, there are 4 in Telangana and the rest are in Karnataka.
Exactly.
There's no doubt that the BJP has established for itself a base in one southern state, which is in Karnataka, even though they may be out of power today. I'm not going to deny them that. But if you take Kerala, if you take Tamil Nadu, if you take Telangana, they're not going to be anywhere on the scene in this election. You can take it from me in writing. They will not win a single seat in any of these 3 states. And no matter how much Mr. Modi talks about Tamil or Tamil culture, he's not going to name a single central government scheme in Tamil. His Virasat, Vikas, Vishwas, none of this is understood in Tamil in Tamil Nadu.
Mr. Mangalam, as a journalist, I'd just advise you a little restraint before you give anything in writing, because a lot of politicians have been shamed this way. But having said that, we'll leave it for the last vote is counted. You've said what you said. Shehzad wanted to come in, for a quick rebuttal, and then I'll cut across and open the panel. Go ahead, Shehzad.
First of all, I have quoted hard facts as to how much UPA gave to Karnataka or UPA gave to Tamil Nadu, and now how much the NDA government has given over the last 9 years. Whether it's in railways, whether it's devolution of funds, whether it's grant and aid, whether it's money for highways. Has any of those figures been contradicted by the Congress spokesperson? No. He said that AIMS Madurai is delayed. You should ask your state government why it is delayed. But having said that, why didn't you build an AIMS in Tamil Nadu over the last 65 years? Why didn't you do that? Anyways, let's leave that. That's out of syllabus for you. And as far as the celebration of Tamil culture is concerned, please tell me why is it that
come back to you, let him answer.
Walking stick over the 1 second, Mr. Mangalam, I did not interrupt you. Mr. Mangalam, I did not interrupt you.
Only fair, let him speak. I will come back to you, sir.
Mr. Mangalam, I did not interrupt you.
Go ahead, Mr. Poonawalla, make your point. I'll cut across to Mr. Mangalam for a rebuttal, and then we'll open the panel.
Forget everything else. Mr. Mangalam, forget everything else. The most important aspect of Tamil culture is Sengol. In fact, Prime Minister Nehru received the Sengol. Why was it relegated as a walking stick for so many years and not given its due position? And in fact, Rahul Gandhi said, what is the Sengol and all? So that is the respect you have for Tamil culture. And let me not see one place we are uniting with Vikas and Virasat, North and South, and you are dividing. What has Mr. Maran said about the North Indians? Do you agree with that terminology? Do you agree with what Ellen Govan, Nehru and Bharti have said about the North Indians? Do you agree with this kind of language that they have used?
All right, okay.
Then is Rahul Gandhi a toilet cleaner for you? He's from North India.
All right, Mr. Mangalam. Okay, that was a comment made in 2019, Shehzad. And that is something which I would think the DMK and the...
That's okay, it doesn't make it wrong.
Okay, 1 second.
Ellen
right.
Govan
Mr.
and
Mangalam, come in for a rebuttal and allow me to
Bhartiya
open the
Janata
panel. All right, Mr. Mangalam, go ahead.
No. Then let me ask him, does he believe in Mr. Himanta Biswa Sharma's words that Shudras were put on this planet to basically serve Brahmins and Kshatriyas? That is the role of Shudras. You believe in the caste system. One of your biggest chief ministers, someone who's prime minister in waiting, is saying this openly, and you're endorsing it. Is that what you believe in, Shehzad? Secondly, I will say that I didn't dispute any of your absolute numbers. I just said it's very, very childish and disingenuous to talk about absolute numbers and compare them to numbers 10 years ago in a growing economy. You have to look at percentages, and those are what matter. And what I'm saying is, if Mr. Modi truly cares about the South, then what he needs to do is come up with a more equitable formula in the 16th Finance Commission.
All right. Allow me to open the panel and I'll come back to our political panelists. Shekhar Iyer, the sheer fact that in 2019, the Bharatiya Janata Party has maximized the Hindi heartland, the North per se. There is an understanding that they need to make inroads desperately where the South is concerned because the gains are going to come from there, if at all.
Definitely, Preeti, BJP has an eye on the South, and the reasons we know. And after all, I have interacted with Rangarajan Kumar Mangalam when he left Congress and joined the BJP. So today his son is in the Congress. And there were reasons why Rangarajan felt BJP could make inroads in the South. And if Modi is pushing that plan today, it's largely because leaders like Rangarajan Kumar Mangalam, who was also close to Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Advani ji, and they had laid that, the kind of route to be taken in the South. And the biggest problem was the mental block. The mental block was the BJP faced a narrative put by the Dravidian parties that the BJP is alien to the South. So that is a narrative that the Prime Minister is continuously fighting. It is not that they are expecting some big harvest of seats in 2024. It's a long-term strategy that is in the offing in South and particularly in Tamil Nadu. That is why your Kashi Tamil Sangamam, it had a second edition this year, and constant references to the Tamil language is only to convey the impression, look, we are not a Hindi party. We are not trying to impose Hindi. It is to break that mental barrier and against the narrative that the Dravidian parties have continuously used again. But the bigger problem for the Dravidian parties today is they have to face corruption, whether it is AIDMK or DMK. The whole problem is they are on the defensive in Tamil Nadu. See, the DMK today, several ministers are facing corruption charges. And the fact that BJP Tamil Nadu President Annamalai has undertaken a Padayatra, and that is drawing traction. Traction not from the mainstream media there. It is drawing traction from local people. People are gathering in small numbers or bigger numbers in different places to hear Annamalai. So the future for the BJP is not as close or cast in stone as it appears today. That is what is keeping BJP going in the South, particularly in Tamil Nadu, and the Prime Minister at it.
All right, so it's a long-term plan. The BJP is working on it. Sumansi Raman, do you agree with Mr. Iyer? Because, till now, the southern states, at least for the Bharatiya Janata Party, could not be penetrated. Now, that could be the Hindutva nationalist ideology of oneness where the country is concerned, keeping up with the Dravidian kind of politics and mindset of the South, and the regionalism, the linguistic pride, which has been very, very different. But do you see that changing? Do you see that narrative and the dynamics changing now?
Look, Preeti, I think fundamentally where the BJP has got it wrong as far as the South, except of course Karnataka, is that the South is a lot more focused on developmental politics than it is on, on the Hindutva ideological plank. Yes, language is important, but I'll give you a classic example of Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu, where the BJP could have significantly made inroads had they focused on the developmental agenda. Instead, we have this issue of the Sengol having been installed, the Prime Minister coming and talking about the glory of Tamil and the glory of, importance of the Kashi Tamil Sangam and so on. I think that's completely not striking a chord at all. Look, the Madurai All India Institute of Medical Sciences has been pending for goodness knows, I think it's almost a decade now. And let's face it, 2 buildings had they come up there, the BJP would have had more to take to the Tamil voter than all this business of cultural, support for or cultural empathy with the Tamil people. So far, not a single building has come up. Can you believe it? How much would it have cost for the state BJP to have put pressure on the center and said, look, the DMK is embarrassing us, the Congress is embarrassing us, Mr. Udayanidhi Stalin is carrying a single brick and saying that nothing has come up in all these years. Why can't they put up a couple of buildings? Today, the Prime Minister comes and makes a speech. He says he's deeply anguished by the havoc that the floods have caused. 300 crore was given, 300 plus crore was given from the National Disaster Relief Fund for the floods in Himachal.
Okay.
Nothing has been given from the NDRF funds for Tamil Nadu. So this is where I think the BJP is really missing the trick. There is no amount of stuff that you talk about temples or Sengol is going to replace the fact that the DMK Congress's persistent message that the developmental projects in Tamil Nadu are not moving as fast as they perhaps should be moving is causing them. And I think the
only
same
time the
applies.
BJP, one can say did well in an alliance was with AIDMK. I'd want to bring in Kawai Sathin as well there. You broke your alliance in 2023, sir, with the Bharatiya Janata Party. Is it back on the anvil for Lok Sabha? Do you think you will benefit electorally without the BJP or with it?
Yeah, good evening to my fellow panelists. So let's our viewers understand. The national parties were shown the door way back in 1967 in Tamil Nadu. It's been like 5.5 decades. The parties are struggling to find a way back in this state. Having said that, what's happening in Tamil Nadu or the southern state is Congress and BJP are trying to and struggling to find a demographic relevance. I wouldn't deem in by saying political relevance, but they are trying to struggling hard to find a demographic relevance. And today, Honorable Prime Minister coming and talking about development and stating that we have kickstarted 20,000 crores of programs. 20,000 crores is no big deal for Tamil Nadu because Tamil Nadu has witnessed many more such. Let me give you an example. When Tamil Nadu was facing transportation issues of getting coal from Calcutta port to Tamil Nadu for the power, our leader MGR purchased 2 ships in 6 months' time. And when our leader Edappadiar want to kickstart the metro phase 2, 62,000 crores, when he sought funds from the center, it is same BJP which said that we can't take part. He said, okay, fine, we'll go ahead with our own finances. So there were instances in both Dravidian parties where in any metrics you take, be the social development indexes or any development for that matter.
Allow me to ask you a question. The state of Tamil Nadu has benefited best under whose tenure? With the Congress in the center or the BJP in the center, sir?
It doesn't matter. What people of Tamil Nadu look forward is who is able to represent Tamil Nadu better.
Okay.
As simple as that. So if you are able to get benefits from Congress as an ally, people have supported. If you are able to get benefits from BJP, people have supported. And we have demonstrated the same.
Right. It remains to be seen, sir, who the AIDMK will get benefits from in 2024. But we're going to leave it at that. It's a question that you really don't want to answer right now. But Shehzad Poonawala has been wanting to make a point. And Shehzad, the question is also the core ideology of the BJP is Hindutva. The South doesn't speak that kind of language. If the Bharatiya Janata Party of what you rattled off right in the beginning on the push for Vikas, on the push for developmental project, on the push for an anti-corruption platform. If that was the language that the BJP was speaking, maybe things would have been a bit different. Till about 6 months ago, you wanted Hindi as the link language.
First of all, let's get our facts correct. Hindi and Hindi Divas was started in 1949. It was made an official, it was made a language that should be promoted through the Official Languages Act under Indira Gandhi's government. There was a parliamentary committee constituted, and in 2011, when Mr. Chidambaram was the Home Minister, if I'm not mistaken, he was the one who tabled the recommendations about pushing Hindi in the usage of national advertisements, in the usage of railways, and so on and so forth. He signed on that document. So unless the contention is that Congress was imposing Hindi on the people of the other states, then that is another issue. And by the way, the Prime Minister and the Home Minister both come from non-Hindi speaking states, which is Gujarat. So that is the last people they should be alleged of Hindi imposition. But having said that, let me make a couple of very important points. First of all, this entire idea that, Hindutva politics is not acceptable. When Preeti, we won only 2 seats in 1984, where our second seat came from. One came from Gujarat. The second seat came from Hanamkonda, which is today in Telangana. Back then, it was in Telangana. Back then it was in Andhra. So therefore we have never been disconnected. The entire continuity, the cultural continuity has been in fact eroded by certain parties merely because they want to hide their corruption and dynasty. Today we know Pawan Mudi is convicted. We know the kind of corruption charges DMK faces. We know the kind of charges Pinarayi Vijayan government faces. We know the charges that KCR government faced. All of them have 2 things in common along with Congress: corruption and dynasty. And when they don't have any answer for this, they come on to the entire language and emotional issues, and they try to say so and so is imposing Hindutva, so and so is imposing Hindi. That is not true. And by the way, Sumansi Raman, at least when you sit as an analyst, you should be honest. You said the Madurai project is being delayed from decade. When was it announced? It was announced in 2015. And when was the land handed over? In November 21, at the time when there was also COVID. So what are you blaming? Where should the central government get the land in Tamil Nadu? The land will fall from Sumansi Raman's house?
Okay. All right, Shehzad,
if the state government doesn't hand over the land, where do we construct the buildings of aims? In your house, in your parking lot?
All right, okay, Shehzad, you said to get the facts correct, I'll just quote, quote unquote, and that's the Home Minister speaking on National Hindi Day, where the Home Minister, allow me, you questioned my facts, so allow me, sir, where he said, quote unquote, that Hindi needs to be made the national language of the country, the common language of the country. It is necessary to have one language which could represent India to the world. Therefore, Hindi needs to be that linked language. Now, I don't think I'm factually incorrect, Shehzad.
This decision was not taken by Amit Shah. This decision was taken under the Nehru government, and it was the constitutional founding fathers who wanted English to be replaced by Hindi. Please go read. The Constituent Assembly, it was Congress leaders who wanted it not to be an official language, but to be a national language. Today it is a Raj Bhasha, it is not a Rashtra Bhasha. It may be a Rashtra Bhavana, but it is not a Rashtra Bhasha, but Congress leaders wanted it to be a Rashtra Bhasha.
The fact is, this was said, Shehzad, and this is, in my humble submission, these are just arguments and a matter of debate where the Bharatiya Janata Party is looking to make foray into the South. These have been the hiccups earlier. The core RSS ideology is one. The southern states don't think it's one. Because for them, it's deeply steeped in linguistic regional pride. There's a difference. No, Shehzad. That's all I'm just saying. It's a matter of debate. You can contend. But factually not incorrect. 1 second. But can I just bring in the Congress spokesperson? I'll come back to you, Shehzad. Just give me 2 minutes. Let me just cut across to the Congress spokesperson. Mr. Mangalam has been trying to make a point. Mr. Mangalam, the fact is, the BJP, whichever way you look at it, audacity, audacious, which is a great word in politics, 2024, they've kickstarted their mission of Lok Sabha elections with a slew of schemes for the South. They're at least putting their money where their mouth is. They know they're weak in the South and they're doing all that they can.
Preeti, if they started 2019 when they came into government with an announcement of many schemes for the South, which actually hit the ground and you could see on the ground, it would be meaningful. Doing it in the election year when you're going to do nothing but make announcements and lay foundation stones is frankly meaningless, which is why, as Dr. Sumant Raman so eloquently said, the South is more about development politics. We are very clear about separation of church and state. You can wave your hand about and say as much as you want about the Sengol, talk about our language in all the places you want to. What we care about is what you're going to do for our states. And that's what we haven't seen. Like I said, had this happened in 2019 or 2020, it would have meant something.
All right, Shekhar Iyer, you see the language is changing, or, at least it's the beginning of that, and the BJP is going all in. But having said that, to put Modi on the ticket, the Prime Minister on the ticket, could work in the Hindi heartland, because there are very few strong regional satraps and regional leaders. To do it in the South, where there is a complete abyss in local leadership, and you have the Prime Minister in each of these states. It hasn't quite worked. It didn't work in Karnataka. Will it work in Lok Sabha is the question.
No, if Modi cannot work for BJP, there is no leader in BJP who can make it work. So therefore, Modi is their best bet. And the idea is, and the Prime Minister Modi particularly, because there are leaders like Amit Shah who are keen about Hindi. But the Prime Minister feels at least this narrative should be challenged. That is why he constantly says, look, we are not imposing Hindi, we are not against Tamil, we are not against Tamil culture. I mean, the idea of Kashi Tangamam is also an exercise. He knows, Prime Minister knows this is not going to give electoral dividend. But the idea is this effort should be made. See, in Telangana, we are talking as if, BJP doesn't exist anywhere in Karnataka. In the Telangana Assembly elections, the BJP's vote share increased. And in the last Lok Sabha elections, they won 4 out of the 17 Lok Sabha seats from Telangana. See, the efforts, they have made mistakes in Karnataka for which they lost power in Karnataka. Similarly, Telangana also, in terms of organization measures, they did some blunders. That's why they couldn't do as well as they had originally thought. So there are mistakes that will go on. But as far as Prime Minister's approach is concerned, there are 130 seats, as you mentioned earlier. And at the moment, BJP doesn't have more than 30 seats. And they have to continuously make effort. Now, Kerala poses a different challenge. Kerala is a demographic challenge, because the other parties are vying for the votes of who. Now, for the BJP has been at it for a long time, but they have not been able to make a dent in Kerala. But that doesn't mean they will give up.
Mm-hmm. And Sumant Raman, there's a point there, because look at the push where the Christmas was concerned. There is an attempt now. It could be an eye on Kerala, but the sheer fact there are right now, you have enough from the Christian community in Kerala who come out and suggest that BJP could be a good option.
Yeah, I mean, the BJP has consciously been wooing the Christian community in Kerala. There is no doubt about it. And we've seen multiple instances of that in the last few months. But Preeti, I'm going back to Telangana. Just one correction. Mr. Iyer is probably referring to the previous assembly election in Telangana, from which the BJP increased their vote share. From the Lok Sabha poll of 2019, when they won 19+% in Telangana, their vote share has dropped by 6% to around 13.5% this time. So let's be very clear, the BJP has not gained in Telangana compared to 2019. Of course, obviously the Modi factor was not there on the ticket in 2023. But the point I'm coming to is very simple. I think that in multiple states, the BJP in the Hindi heartland, the BJP's formula is simple. These states, let's be fair, have lagged behind their southern counterparts. So to some extent, the BJP's quote-unquote developmental initiatives have also borne fruit. But in the southern part of this country, where there has already been a reasonable level of development, the fact that the BJP has not been able to bring, at least I know for sure in my state, they have not been able to demonstrably bring any big projects over the last 10 years to make people sit up and say, look, we did this for you.
Shehzad, I'm going to just take closing comments from the political panelists right now. Shehzad, to bring you in on this, at least is there an understanding? Yes, the Prime Minister understands that till now the narrative is not what he really wanted. He's trying to course correct this. But where you look at the larger ideology of a party which is based on the RSS, where the foot soldiers believe in oneness, do you see that happen in the that side of the Vindhyas at all?
Firstly, let me inform you that the founder of RSS, Hedgewarji, was not born in North India. He was born in present-day Nizamabad, which is in Telangana. So how are you saying that RSS is disconnected with southern part of India?
I'm not saying
Most
that.
popular branches of RSS are in
Shehzad.
Kerala, where they fight. No, let me complete.
No, but I'm not saying that. That's all I'm saying. Please complete.
Artificial differences. Okay. Secondly, and Mr. Sumansi Raman has contradicted himself. He says that the issue here is that we have already done so much development, so BJP's development narrative have no takers here. But then why do the parties of the South constantly talk about Hindu bashing, Hindutva bashing, Sanatan bashing? If development is the issue here, then why is Udaynidhi's talent to Parmeshwar, to Khadge's son, all of them bashing Hinduism and Sanatan all the time? So have they got nothing to show on developmental front? By the way, Karnataka till the time a BJP government was in place was attracting highest FDI. Now we know what is the position and status of Karnataka. In the last few months we are seeing what is happening, and we are also seeing the kind of rowdiness that is going on the streets of Karnataka and what kind of impression it is creating. But having said that, one last statement, because Preeti, you said this. You said that Amit Shah insisted on usage of Hindi. He said Hindi should be used as a replacement of English. Is English a language that comes naturally to India? And this is the constitutional founders who wanted English to be
ask you a question,
by a local
Shehzad.
or
Where the south of India is concerned, does English come easier than Hindi?
Preeti, let me complete.
It's a question
I understand,
I'm asking
let me
you.
complete. Let me complete.
It's a question, you complete, but let me also
I am
pose this
answering your question.
In the south of India, is English an easier language than Hindi? Question, Shehzad. The Prime Minister speaks in English. He doesn't speak in Hindi when he addresses the people of Tamil Nadu. He uses English. Shehzad.
I've heard and understood your question. All I'm asking is that when the constitution makers wanted that English should be replaced and then Hindi should take over, were they not conscious of which language is simpler? And are you saying that using of Hindi above English is something that would offend somebody because Hindi is not in competition with a local language or an Indic language? But why are you so concerned that your language should be English as a link language? We are not talking about the language as a whole. We have promoted mother tongue in NEP, but I am saying as a link language, why are you against an Indic language being used? Why shouldn't the link language be, say, Tamil? Why shouldn't the link language be Gujarati? Why shouldn't the link language be Hindi? Why link language should be English?
I am not against anyone.
What is the fascination you have with Queen's
language? It was a quote.
So then you should not portray that Amit Shah said that Hindi should be
Shehzad, nobody is against any language. This was a quote at one point of time. And it was only, and I only used it to elucidate nothing else.
No, let me
but
correct your
possibly
quote.
There's a disconnect.
You quoted Home Minister partially.
With South of India. That's all. It was for a debate point. That's
Preeti,
it.
Maybe you made an error.
I haven't made any error. I can re-quote you.
Preeti, maybe you made an error. You said, one second, let me tell you what you said. You can play it out, the producers can play it out. You said that Amit Shah ji has said that Hindi should be made national language. This is your quote unquote.
Can I quote?
Can I quote it?
Okay, Shehzad, I don't want to get into a debate with you, but I will quote again because I have it right in front of me. Right? And because you quote us back all the time, Shehzad, now allow me.
He said that
because you quote me back all the time from India Today website. You quote me back from the India Today website. I would hope that you will have enough faith in a document that I'm quoting from the India Today archives. Now I will quote again, sir, and let it be the end of that. The Prime Minister speaking on National Hindi Day in New Delhi on September 14th emphasized the need for Hindi to be made the common language of the country. It was necessary, Shah said, to have one language which could represent India in the world. This is all I said. Closing comments. Congress spokesperson, let's go, and then we're going to quickly close.
Language. Repeat the tape. Ask your producer to play your tape.
Sir, I have just quoted you from our own archives, which you quote all the time, Shehzad.
He never said that.
I have, okay. Mr. Uday Mahurkar has filed this copy, sir.
Now that
I hope you know Mr. Uday Mahurkar.
I allow you to backtrack.
But I'm not backtracking.
Okay, Preeti, I'll just
and I don't allow you to derail this debate. I don't allow you to derail this debate, sir. All right, okay, Kumar. Okay, Mr. Mangalam, closing comments, and then we're going to quickly
You've just been exposed trying to put a word which was not there. You've been
Sir, I have quoted you twice. Why are you going on trying to derail this debate? I'm not going to allow you. All right, Mr. Mangalam, go ahead.
You said national language. He said, Preeti, please mute his mic. This is getting ridiculous. He spends half the debate attacking you so he can get more airtime. Please don't let this happen again. Second, I just want to make 2 quick points. One, Tamil Nadu and the South chiefly is about performance, not platitudes. BJP seems to be mostly about platitudes wherever it goes.